Hi, my name is Confidence Sileme and welcome to this week's edition of the Confidence Booster. Today I want to talk on a topic I've titled The Struggle Against Pride. The Struggle Against Pride. And I want to talk about it specifically from a leadership point of view, a leadership perspective. You know, when we talk about leadership, a lot of people say to themselves, they're talking to leaders now, so I'm excluded. I'm not part of that particular crew. But the truth of the matter is that all of us, each and every one of us, are leaders. The first person that you have to lead is yourself. If you're in a household, there are kids that you have to lead. If you're in a business, maybe you've got a position and you are a leader. But even if you do not have a position, leadership is not positional. Even if you don't have a position, there are responsibilities that you carry. And the definition of leadership is a person who's able to carry responsibility out well. So if you have any form of responsibility, whether it's to your kids, whether it's to yourself, whether it's to an organization, then you are a leader. So one of the things that, cripple many leaders is pride. And the funny thing is that a lot of leaders, when they start out, they don't start out being boastful, proudful, haughty, So pride silently creeps into a leader's heart most of the times. And, before they know it, they're doing things that are out of character. They're saying things that, they wouldn't have said a couple of years back. The thing that makes a lot of leaders to become prideful is success. They say when you become successful, your head tends to become big. It tends to be quite enlarged. And if you can imagine with me somebody who has got a very enlarged head, it means that head has become a stumbling block to their own success. That head, because of the size of the head, they are going to topple over and fall. So here are three things that pride does in a person's life, more specifically in a leader's life. So the first thing that pride does is pride inhibits growth. Pride inhibits growth. Leaders who are full of pride think they know it all. And the leader who thinks he knows it all ends up losing it all. Pride can fool a leader into believing that they've reached the peak. And when you start believing that you've reached the peak, it means the only place you can go is down. When you start becoming prideful and you start thinking that you know everything there is to know, the only place you're going to go is down. Your leadership is going to decline. You're going to start regressing. You're going to start treating people in a way that, you'll have no affinity with those you lead, and they will start rejecting your leadership. So the first thing that pride does is pride inhibits growth, because when you think you know everything, then there is no more space to grow. So number one, pride inhibits growth. The second thing that pride does is pride creates contempt towards others. Pride creates contempt towards others. The prideful heart says, I am better than so-and-so. I am better than this person and that person. And when a leader gets to a point where they start believing that they are better than other people, then they will naturally stop elevating those particular people. They will start saying, I must dominate. Instead of leading, now they want to dominate. And there's a difference between the two. A person who wants to dominate is not a leader. They are a dictator, particularly dominate other people. As leaders, our job is not to dominate other people. We are to elevate those people, not dominate them. When you see a leader who is always seeking to dominate other people, it is a sign of an insecure leader. It is a sign that they have got an inferiority complex, because it is only a person who feels that they are low that wants to pull others low. But the person who feels they are high, who feels they have a high self-esteem, who feel good about themselves, who don't need other people to keep praising them, keep telling them how wonderful they are, who innately know that they have gifts, they have talents, that they have leadership capacity, leadership potential. Those are the people who will always be elevating other people. They will not want to suppress and dominate others. So the second thing that the prideful heart says, I am better than so-and-so. And when a leader gets to that point, they cease being a leader. They start becoming a dictator, and they start wanting to dominate and suppress those that they lead. Thirdly, pride comes before a fall. So the third thing that pride does in a person's life, it creates calamity, it creates chaos, and it ends up in leaders falling from grace. You can study any leader, whether it's contemporary leaders in our own government, whether it's historic leaders such as Adolf Hitler, who was so full of pride that he said, I want to dominate, I want to kill, I want to destroy, I want to suppress people all over the world. He wanted to take over the whole world. You know, how much pride must your heart be full of to think to that level, say, I want to dominate the whole world, I want to suppress entire generations just because I have pride. But what happens to him? In the end, he ended up committing suicide because pride comes before a fall. If you are a leader, whether in the home, whether in an organization, whether you are just personally leading yourself, trying to instill values and discipline and commitment within yourself, do not have pride. When you amass the success, when you achieve things, do not become haughty and boastful and you start telling everybody how low they are and how great you are. You have to retain a spirit of humility. When you have humility, humility will give you more victories. Every victory that you have, say, you know what, become grateful. Say, you know what, this is by grace. This is not by my own works, but by the grace of God. And this will lead you to more and more success. Each and every leader who wants to go higher must go low. What do I mean by that? You must be humble. Once you have humbled yourself, then you'll be elevated. Then you will achieve more and more success. Win the struggle against pride. Thank you.